Welcome to the Austin, and Scott variety show.
Anything exciting happened to you this week?
I have a leaky radiator.
Ooh, that's what kind of leaky?
Well, it's a very, very slow drip.
Have you smelled what fluid it might be?
It looks so clear that I don't think it could be anything else. I don't think it's viscous. It's
probably not your radiator.
What are you talking about, Scott?
Radiator fluids are usually green or orange, so we can't poison people with it.
Right. So this one, well, first of all, my radiator fluid is pink, and second of all, it's on a black asphalt, so I have no idea. It just looks.
Have you tried tasting it?
I've heard that it's a bad idea.
What? Who says that?
Dogs in heaven.
Oh no. Fair. They might know a thing or two. Yep.
Fair. All right. How have you been, Scott?
I've been okay. This week's been a rough week for us. Unfortunately, our work had to let go quite a bit of people, but
that's a shame. Like worse than a breakup.
Business times are hard. It seems like that's a reoccurring theme for a lot of companies in this year. Mm-hmm. So we'll see if things pick up.
Any
a lot of things putting on hold. Week? Yes, I will be DMing my first session of the D&D campaign for our loved ones. If that counts as a high, right? Yeah,
I guess it counts as a high. And I like how you say for our loved ones, because you're pulling a Brigham Young and separating our wives from us. You just consolidated all of the women in our social group, and this is how it starts, Scott.
Well, you know. Yes.
Well, yeah. Okay.
No, it's an all-female group, so it'll be very interesting.
Moderating. You'll be moderating. Yeah.
I have to be very careful not to turn it into a Handmaid's Tale where they all hate the DM.
Yeah.
So there's going to be a lot of female empowering villains and heroes also to lead the way. So this might be a very feminine heavy campaign is what my solution for that problem is.
I guess
that way they can't be mad at the patriarchy if the big bad guy is a girl. Yes.
All right. Today we are joined by our guest, a friend of the show.
Hello.
Andrew. Good morning, Andrew. How are you today?
I'm doing all right. How are you guys doing?
We are chipper. We're just finishing catching up. You said before I introduced you to the show that you had another activity scheduled and that you had to decide between a long commute and staying indoors. Tell us about your plans today.
Yeah. So my original plan today was to volunteer for this annual event called the Vancouver Global Game Jam. If you haven't heard of a game jam before, it's kind of like a hackathon. It's an event where a bunch of people get together. They form kind of like impromptu teams, or you can come prepared with a team. They go to a second location, and everybody just sets up. They do networking, and they try to make a game over a weekend. Yeah.
Okay, that's fair. But you're giving them a shout out here. That way everybody else that's listening can definitely go a week late, but it's still promotion for next year.
Yeah, it happens around this time, January every year. It's a great way to get the local indie game dev community together.
Nice. And speaking of January activities, I think Scott has a fun fact this week related to January 1st. Go ahead.
Yes.
What did you dig up?
Fun fact for the week. So, did you know that New Year's used to be on March 25th?
Well, I guess a bunch of cultures kind of have their own definition for when the year properly cycles over, like the Chinese New Year calendar. It's like somewhere
That's fair. That's fair,
right?
Calendar.
Correct. Yeah, I think so. But did you know that England and by extension all the colonies in America used to celebrate March 25th being the New Year?
You know, I think that's tied to like the sun, right? The perpetual winter is like properly over, hopefully by March.
Spring happens usually around the March 20th to 25th range, probably. Yeah, but that's all based on the Gregorian calendar.
That evolved after the 17th century, then.
Correct. Yes. So up till the 17th century, 1751. Everybody was on their own calendar kind of deal. I don't remember what the name of that calendar was, but essentially from the Roman Empire, when it fell, a lot of people started adopting this new calendar day of the January 1st, because that's from the Gregorian calendar. Now, as that came through, eventually England adopted it, and by proxy, the Americans adopted it. And the fun fact that gets tied to that is that George Washington wasn't actually born on what his official birthday is, according to him. So from his perspective, he was actually born on February 11th, 1731. Whereas if we go back in history books nowadays, we've adjusted it and corrected it to where he's born on February 22nd.
That's when we celebrate it? Okay.
Correct. We actually celebrate it February 2nd, 1732. So we have a completely different year than what he thought he was born in originally.
You know, that makes a lot of sense. My great-grandma says that her birthday and what's on her birth certificate and headstone are off by like 2 years. She attests that like the mortician.
I have so many questions off of that comment. The one, she already has a headstone.
Yeah, date keeping hasn't always been a perfect science, Scott.
But yeah, no. Essentially, what they did was they switched the new year from when normally March would be to be January. So that's where the year changes for him from 1732 or 1731 to 1732, because February is now technically in the new year. And that's where the whole December is Deci for 10. And then you have January, February that makes you 11, 12. But because we switched it back, now December is the 12th month and so forth. And then the date change from the 22nd to the 11th was they dropped 11 days in September in order to then align with the Gregorian calendar days. And so that's where that fun date change for our founding father. yeah. It's just like, you know what? It's September 2nd. Now it's September 14th. We just time traveled right there. Yes.
The week that didn't happen.
Exactly. So you've heard of the room where it happened. This is the week where it didn't happen. Founding Father edition.
All right. I want to transition over to the next segment.
We have a few different game types that we'll play, and each one of those game types gives you points. At the end of this game segment, if you score enough points, or if we take pity on you, you'll get a wish that we may or may not grant you with conditions. So, Order Matters is worth 3 points. We have a segment called Fake News from the past, guess the theme song, and we have a rapid fire trivia for 60 seconds where each question you answer correctly is worth 1 point. If you get over 10 points, then you get your wish of hypothetical, and we will grant you with its conditions. Are you ready to play?
Yeah, I just got to say beforehand that I am terrible at history.
Which is
geography.
what makes this fun.
Yeah.
All right. You scored some pity points right there already.
Yes.
Well,
Pity
luckily,
me.
the first game that we have set up for you, Andrew, and Scott will play against you, is Order Matters. So I have in this week's category the sacking of famous cities in history. We have Rome, Carthage, and Troy. So at this point, I guess it would behoove us to figure out the country of origin of all these cities. Do you want to take a guess where Rome is?
Yeah, I'm going to say Greece. No, it's obviously in Rome.
Right. Yeah. Yes. So Rome is in Rome, definitely.
Italy.
Yeah, that would be Italy. And then next would be Carthage. Scott, do you have any idea where Carthage happens to be?
I actually don't know where Carthage is. I think they're an island on Sicily, but that might be Troy I'm thinking of.
Is Carthage in Greece?
Might be.
It was involved in the Punic Wars. No, it's not an island.
Okay. Sounds like I need to go back to 7th grade world history, because I'm just as bad.
Wait. If it was sacked, does it still exist on the map?
I think there are ruins now. I should really look this shit up before we start recording podcasts. But from what I recall, Carthage is basically modern day Tanzania or North Africa. Yeah, the south of the Mediterranean Sea. Yes.
Okay.
And that brings us to our last city, Troy. And does anyone want to take a gander where in our
I'm going to guess this was an island.
You guessed Troy is an island? Okay.
I feel
Andrew,
like it's a coastal city.
almost all cities are coastal cities, so that's an easy.
He's correct.
Give
him
you
the
need
point.
water. Yeah, people thirsty. No, Troy. It was somewhere in Turkey, way off on the western coast. So now that we have an idea of this triangle of different locations, can we guess as to the order in which they were sacked in the historical timeline?
Okay, so I imagine Troy would be associated with the Trojans. That might be completely wrong.
Nope, that's
Bad at history.
Trojan War took place
Trojan
in
War?
the sacking of Troy. Yes.
And I feel like the Trojan War happened before the fall of Rome. So it's whether or not Carthage came before or after Rome.
Oh, that's what you're thinking? Okay.
Yeah.
Scott, what are your thoughts on the order matters segment?
I'm thinking here. I'm gonna go with Carthage first, Troy second, Rome third.
I'm going to swap the first two and keep Rome last.
Okay. So the order for you is?
It was Troy, Carthage, Rome.
And you would be correct. Yes.
Yes.
Ding, ding, ding. Congratulations.
Congratulations. Troy is like 1100 BC. It might not even be like the real name of the city. It was more of a mythological war that took place off of second and third hand word of mouth stories, right? And then it was around 180, Carthage across the Mediterranean was a scapegoat for the strife that was happening in Rome. So Rome sent a whole crew of people to go down there and pick up all their goods and assault the land so that they couldn't live. Then after that, it was around 400 AD, if I'm not mistaken. The sack of Rome, they couldn't figure out who's going to be the emperor. And the Visigoths in the north just decided to take the whole kit and caboodle. All right. Well, that was fun. Boom,
Yes,
boom,
and you
boom.
do have points. You have 3 points. So
Congratulations.
congratulations. You're already on a good start. All right. So, for this next segment with fake news from the past. So, your job is to suss out the one true story. 2 of these stories are fake. 1 of them is real. If you are able to select the correct true news story, you will score 3 points. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
I am ready.
All right. For our first headline, man wins world's largest bubble contest, creates a 30-foot soap bubble sphere. In a dazzling display of skill and science, 41-year-old Alex Grayson won the world's largest bubble contest by creating a massive 30-foot soap bubble in 2024. The annual event, hosted in Chicago, challenges participants to push the limits of bubble making using homemade solutions and wands. My secret is glycerin, patience, and praying the winds cooperate, said Grayson. His bubble hovered for 12 seconds before bursting into a spray of shimmering colors. The competition is a family-friendly celebration of fun and physics, drawing participants from around the globe.
All right.
That's story number 1.
Hey, Andrew, do you know what glycerin is? And do you make bubbles with it?
Isn't glycerin used in soap?
Is it? Okay.
It is.
All right, that makes it believable. And then you said world's largest. Oh, the contest was the largest, not the bubbles.
Correct.
But still, a 30-foot bubble seems kind of ridiculous for the surface tension of soap. I will say this story does kind of it kind of knocks on some abstract knowledge that I felt buried deep in my brain. I feel like I might have heard about this once upon a time, or I could be gaslighting myself.
Oh, Scott's a very good gaslighter. Sure. Yeah, let's go to the next story. Let's figure it out.
Right. Next story. Woman wins world's ugliest lawn contest. Gotland, Sweden, partnered with environmentalists to launch the world's first contest honoring ugly lawns. The contest supports water conservation and natural environment conditions over artificially maintained lawns. Kathleen Murray, the 2023 winner, lives in a relatively bare, dry area at
Tasmania.
No, thank you, Tasmania. I can't read. And credits the local wildlife for turning her lawn into a pleasant, patchy, dry, and weedy state. I used to think the bandicoots were wildlife of mass destruction invading my lawn, but now I see that they're actually liberating me from ever having to mow it again, said Murray. I'm all for guilt-free weekends, especially since my ex-husband left with the lawnmower back in 2016. The 2024 winner should be announced in the coming weeks.
It's an event from Sweden that's worldwide, and the winner was in Tasmania.
Correct.
I
So
guess
that's a lot of locations.
It is a lot of locations. And then we see the bandicoots here. What a specific detail to that.
Yeah,
that's only in Tasmania. If
I gotta say, I think this one's fake. It's too plausible. You know, the ugliest lawn competition, the water conservation. There's very good reasons to have this. So that's like the aspect that's so obviously, yes, this could happen. But then it was Tasmania, like the Tasmanian devil, and bandicoots, like Crash Bandicoots. I've seen a theme here with like spinning animals.
What's most not believable is that the previous year's winner is on the slate to win again. I don't know. It is less than believable, Scott. All right, hit us with the last story.
All right, last story. Man wins world's fastest ice cream eating contest. Sets record for brain freeze. In a spectacle of speed and stamina, 34-year-old Jake Monroe claimed victory at the world's fastest ice cream eating contest, held annually in Burlington, Vermont. The competition challenges participants to consume a quart of ice cream as quickly as possible, brain freeze and all. Monroe managed to down his vanilla chocolate swirl in just 48 seconds, a new record. My strategy is simple. Ignore the pain, said Monroe, clutching his forehead post-race. It's like a cold headache badge of honor. The event draws hundreds of contestants and spectators each year, with proceeds going to the local food banks. So, Andrew and Austin.
Yeah.
Which of these three stories do you think is the true story?
Well, if we talk about the last story for a second, it lacked dates. The other stories had like years all over the place, but this one only has a 34-year-old man. And then you said something about like worlds, like he set the record. Oh, with the brain freeze or record for fastest brain freeze?
Record for eating ice cream.
Okay, and the brain freeze is just comes free with it.
And he wins the world's fastest ice cream eating contest, where it's the world's wide fastest ice cream eating contest.
In Vermont.
In Vermont.
Okay, how much is a quart? I can picture a pint because of like rain or shine and stuff.
Yeah. So 2 pints.
Okay.
Of ice cream.
That's a lot of ice cream in 48 seconds.
Just horfing it down.
Like, unless it's soft serve, I cannot imagine him being able to like get that down his throat.
That's why he set the record, and then with brain freeze.
Just slurping it down. Let's see. So the stories that we have between us are the largest bubble contest, the ugliest lawn contest, and the fastest ice cream eating contest. Which of these stories are you thinking is the true one here, Andrew?
Yeah, after hearing the other two stories, I got around back to the 30-foot bubble. Honestly, something about it speaks to me. I think it's just outrageous enough that you'd think it's a lie, but it's actually true. It's like the Fibbage line of thought, where you're trying to fly close to the sun, and then the actual answer is in the sun.
I could see it. I could see a person having enough conviction to horf down that much ice cream in 48 seconds if they really, really want to. And if they're really capable of ignoring the pain, and if it's a really big-ass contest, I bet there's at least one person in that contest who has prepared for the inevitable brain freeze. So I'm going to lock in my answer with the ice cream story. Andrew's locking in his answer. What is the result for us, Scott?
All right. You guys are both locked in?
Yep.
And unfortunately, neither one of you guys are correct. It was the woman wins the world's ugliest lawn contest. Exactly. And then this year's winner, I'll skip to that, is Lisa, Leisa Elliott, from Canterbury coastline, New Zealand. So yeah, it's not far off.
I got the accent almost right.
Yep. But yeah, they are legitimate contest. So if you have your ugly lawn pictures, take a picture of it, send it to Sweden, and they'll apparently enter you in for the world ugliest lawn contest. So
awesome.
Unfortunately, neither one of you guys scored points for that one, but at least we had fun along the way.
Yeah, we did. I think we have 2 more game segments, but before we do that, can we hear a word from our sponsor, Scott?
Indeed. So this week's sponsor is Duracell, for batteries when batteries just won't quit. Duracell batteries are always the great thing to include in Christmas gifts, toys, anything you can think of that might need extra power. I've always used Duracell batteries on a day-to-day basis, and they have never let me down. So, when you think power, think Duracell. Feel all that big alkaline.
Thank you, Big Alkaline.
Push down big lithium for sustainability.
Andrew, are you familiar with our sponsor today?
Duracell? I mean, of course, yeah.
Okay.
They have the long-lasting batteries, right?
Okay.
Not the one with the bunny, right?
No,
They are the one with the bunny.
I guess you can't say their name. They paid us not to say the bunny person's battery's name.
I thought the bunny. No, is the bunny?
No, because that one starts with the letter E. So don't worry about it.
Oops. Not the bunny. Not the bunny.
No.
But still, Big Alkaline.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If the bunny wants to sponsor us, just let us know. We'd be happy to take requests.
All right, moving away from our sponsor segment, our next segment, we can do it the easy way, or we can do it the reverse way. So, Andrew, we have 3 lullabies played on a music box, and we want you to guess the theme song that they're trying to allude to.
Here's a good idea. I think we'll play the song in reverse for 2 points if you can get it. 1 point if you have to do it in the song forward.
Sure.
That way, the segment can be 6 points. Okay.
Song
All right.
in
So,
reverse.
song number 1 in reverse.
All right, I like the pacing of it. It has a nice little march quality to it, but it is reversed.
I don't know.
Don't have a
hard.
I almost want to call it a Legend of Zelda song, but that seems too neat.
I have no idea.
Yeah, it's sort of a mind warp when it's played backwards.
Yeah. It almost sounds familiar as it's reversed. But I cannot place it.
There's the bump, 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 bump.
Yeah.
All right, forward, send it.
I don't know the name of the song still.
Okay, wait.
I'm gonna go Pirates of the Caribbean because that's close.
You know, it does have that quality to it.
Yeah. I don't know
I'll
the
grant
name
that.
of lullabies apparently. Sorry, go ahead, Andrew.
What are these songs limited to? Are these like openings? Like
Yep, theme songs. So I'll say that you were on the right track with the Zelda theme song, although it is not Zelda.
Is it possible for future ones to be video game properties?
It's very possible.
Okay.
I'm gonna have to send the correct answer to Scott.
No!
Skyrim.
Yes, that is the Dovahkiin theme song of Skyrim, like a decade-old property at this point. The song's been around, yeah, but that's the flavor.
All right, ready for number 2? Let's hope
Yes, no one's gonna get number 2 in reverse, and I doubt anyone's gonna get it forward either. It's a little bit more niche.
So the things we can take away from it is a tempo and high lows. That's all I'm going to say, because if you put it in reverse, it all gets screwed up. So the tempo is fairly fast, and it had a lot of alternating high-low beats. What video game would have
Not Mega Man. Not the original Mega Man.
No idea.
I'm going to guess Shrek the video game.
Yes. I'll go Legend of Zelda
there.
just to cover our bases. Oh, Undertale. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I wouldn't have recognized that. You're right.
Yeah, I never ended up playing Undertale.
Speaking of indie games, though, in game session, it was happening this weekend. Perfect choice for song theme. So good job with your choices. All right, last one.
Oh.
Movies. Okay. I think I know it. Yep, I'm pretty sure.
All right, Andrew. Scott's quick on the tail of this musical
I have a
adventure.
feeling that I'm not going to get it. So I'm going to go for the
I'm not
Hail
so sure
Mary
anymore.
and say Pirates of the Caribbean.
Locking it in with pirates? Okay.
Yeah.
And Scott, what do you think this is? Yeah, you got it, Scott.
Flop would make more sense.
Okay. Woohoo! I knew I recognized it. All right. Once we play it in forward, you'll see it instantly. So let me go back to...
Will I?
Here we go.
Oh. Yeah, that's obvious.
Do you remember the name though?
Yeah, Jurassic Park.
Congratulations!
That
was a good one. Okay. All right. For this next part, we have the rapid fire trivia for 60 seconds, where each question is worth 1 point. All right.
Ready? 60 seconds on the clock starting now.
What is the smallest planet in our solar system?
Mercury.
Which element has the chemical symbol of O?
Oxygen.
Who wrote Pride and Prejudice?
Pass.
What is the capital city of Australia?
Melbourne. No, Sydney.
Nope. What is the year that the Titanic sank?
1842.
Nope. What is the fastest land animal?
Cheetah.
Who painted the Mona Lisa?
Da Vinci.
Which planet is known for the red planet?
Mars.
What is the largest mammal on Earth?
The blue whale.
What is the square root of 64?
8.
What is the hardest natural element on Earth?
Titanium? No.
5 seconds.
Pass.
Who is the first president of the United States?
George Washington.
That's it.
All right, that was a good round. You scored 8 correct answers.
Oof.
So, congratulations, Andrew.
Congratulations, Andrew.
Thank you very much.
You have a total of 12 points, which means you do win the hypothetical wish.
Hypothetical wish. Hypothetical wish. All right, Andrew,
Now,
if you could have one thing without conditions, except it has a condition that it has all the conditions,
whatever we said on it,
what
would you wish for?
Be?
It has the conditions on it, huh? I was gonna say like a billion.
$1 billion?
Uh-huh.
$1 billion.
So the caveat with this section of the game show is that we get to ruin your wish some way, shape, or form. So, Scott, like, what if the $1 billion was like inaccessible in his lifetime?
I could see that, yeah.
But then, like, I don't know, generational wealth. Andrew's like next to kin might be able to get it. So we need to do something to make sure.
Easy. 1 billion doll hairs.
Oh, that's lame. I've heard of that one before.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's think. What else is considered
What we could do
dollars?
is
there are Canadian dollars.
There are Canadian dollars.
Is Zimbabwe technically a dollar? Is it still too much money? Damn, if you wished for $1 million, that would have been funnier.
So what we could do is,
that's still 276,000.
assuming that the money actually showed up.
All right, here's another idea. We give it to all in pennies.
They don't have pennies in Canada, but I get.
Yeah, we got rid of our
going.
pennies.
Or still, 1 billion loonies. Where are you going to store it? How can you physically transport it?
Where are you going to get the metal to make like 1 billion loonies?
Asteroids.
That's the caveat. It's made with asteroid money that doesn't exist yet.
It's out in space still. It's coming. It'll come in 2036 with the whatever that asteroid's supposed to hit. All that metal's gonna be used to make your $1 billion.
Caveat is that you have to be up in space to catch it. It's worth a lot less because you have so many of them. The market's saturated. Supply and demand.
Yeah, but
you have all the supply.
Given enough time, I could just like turn it into gold. You know,
have you ever
buy gold with it?
You could buy gold with it at an outside of time. You are correct. But you have to carry the change. You can't do digital transactions. All physical currency. Your wish is granted. Austin, do you agree?
Granted.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Andrew. Thanks for playing. Congratulations on winning, and I hope you enjoy your $1 billion of nickels.
All right. See you, Andrew. Bye-bye.
Yeah, bye.
Bye. All right. Austin, any advice for our listeners till next week?
Yeah. We have a few callers, and let's try to give some rapid-fire answers to their questions.
Yes, go for it.
So Mia from Toronto asked us, if aliens landed tomorrow and offered you a ride to their planet, would you go? What would be your one question for them? So if I had to go to another planet, I don't know. It's really important to breathe. That's really important. What would be my one question for them? Can I bring air?
Fair enough. I'd be concerned about pressure before I'd be concerned about air, because that would be another monkey paw wish I can see that happening there for sure. No, my question would be one of pure utter nonsense of, can I buy a timeshare? Because if you get on the ground floor of timeshares, value is going to go up. And no, I wouldn't go. I just straight up wouldn't go.
You meet a new alien species, and the first thing you do is introduce capitalism to them. And all right, up next, Raj from Mumbai, international caller, asks us, okay, serious question. If you could only communicate through one emoji a week, which one would you pick and why?
Poop emoji.
Poop emoji?
Yep, it's versatile. It can be used for anything: sarcasm, legitimate situations, or reason why you have to go fast. Like, hey, if I need to tell other drivers around me I need to go, and I'm sorry if I cut you off, all I have to do is put a poop emoji, and they will interpret it however they wish to. But I'm hoping they interpret it as I need to poop. So I'm driving as fast as I can.
For me, I think I'd have to go with the tried and true thumbs up. And then,
that's also a good one.
It could be taken sarcastically, too. If someone asks me to do something I don't want to do, I'll just give them a freaking thumbs up. Right up the butt. That's what I think.
All right. I like it.
Our next, Max from Florida asks us, if you could create a brand new holiday, what would it be called and how would people celebrate? Bonus points if it involves pie. I don't know. The word's set up right there, March 14th. I don't know why you would not celebrate Pi Day on that titular Pi Day. There's too many of them. I don't know. When it comes to this question, I mean, have you ever seen the news early on in the morning? Like, they always have a segment creating a new holiday, and it just sounds like a lot of bullshit.
100% is, but I know the website you could register those holidays on for national holidays, and it's a fun read if you ever have downtime.
Well, Max, we're gonna just disappoint you on this one. There's just too many holidays. Stop celebrating and get to work.
Yes.
Our last question comes from Jessica from Centaur World, and she writes in, I went to shaman school, but have been out of the loop on my own adventure for a year. How do I regain the confidence I need to start being a shaman again?
Well, Jessica. Jessica, sorry.
With an F. No. And we'll have to give worldly advice to her otherworldly.
So universal advice, one might say.
Yes.
Jessica, I would recommend that, you just go out there, know that, hey, somebody else just like you, the same age, has done what you're trying to do. So it's definitely possible. And you know what? People are made every day that can do amazing things. You just have to make sure that you can show that you're one of those people. So don't give up on your dreams and just keep on going. You got this, Jessica.
Yeah, you got this, Jessica.
Is Jessica a centaur? I just need to know.
Everyone in Centaur World is a centaur except the visitors. But they will centaurificate if they stay too long.
So they have two heart systems that they have to...
That's
do you have problems?
Great point. How do you spoon a centaur in bed?
Well, not just that. Well, you ride them. That's how you spoon them.
Oh? Is the centaur always the little spoon?
No, centaur's always big spoon, no matter which side you're on. Do they have problems with blood pressure? If they have a heart attack on one of them, does the other heart keep going? Or like what? Mm-hmm. Like how does that?
I bet it works a lot like alkali batteries. You have to have two of similar current. So if you have one that's too old or a different manufacturer, then one will outpace the other, and the other one will wear down and explode.
Or do you only need one and the other heart's redundant? So if you get shot in the heart from the human side, you're still able to live. No, these are legitimate questions. I want Jessica to answer at some point if she wants to write back in to give us just what centaur health, like what a centaur doctor typically has to do on these checkups, because I am curious.
We are very curious. Write in, Jessica. We'll look forward to you next episode.
All right. Well, thank you all for listening to the Austin and Scott Variety Show.
It's been a blast.
Again, if you want to play, be one of our contestants, feel free to reach out and we will try to get you scheduled. So thanks for listening.
Thank you. Till next time. Bye-bye.